Okay, today I'm going to be doing a video showing how I do my line through that I use, especially when I fish in the spring and fall with swim baits. The reason I went with this method, I always typically use just the single hook jig head style setup, but found I missed quite a few fish using that method, so trying to figure out a different way, trying to increase my hookup ratio and landing. And one thing I found that worked really well was this method. It's a little different. It's not a head that's made for line through, but I modify it to make it work. So that's what the steps I'm going to go through on today's video. Okay, for this line through, I'm going to be showing you today the 3 items I use for my method. You can obviously use different swim baits, different colors, but I like to use a big Joshy 3.25 inch swim bait. I prefer the Dirty Money color. It seems to work well in muddy, stained, clear water, pretty much in every condition. The hook, the jig head I'll be using is actually a Tackle Tush 3/16 ounce jig head. I do make a modification of this, which I'll show in the video. And I use the Gamakatsu Size 6 treble hook. These are extremely sticky. They do a great job. Once you hook a fish, for the most part, they're not going to get away. So I really like this this treble hook. Okay, so first I'm going to start using these particular style of jig heads. It's called a Tackle, called a Tush, T-U-S-H jig head. As you can see, they've got a nice ribbed design where actually when you're inserted in the swim bait, they do a really good job of holding on to the swim bait. Okay, the first step I take with this hook, take a pair of pliers, use wire cutters, whatever you want to do, and I cut the hook off just above the weight. So I've already got one here. As you see, I cut it off above the weight, and it's a very simple process. Then right in the center of the lure, just insert, pushing it straight back in to the lure. Like I said, these grip really good in the lure. It's hard to pull these back out of the lure. So now this lure is ready for the line through. Okay, and then the last step is just the actual line through and tying the lure on. So you run the line through the swim bait. You can use whatever kind of knot you want to use. I just use a basic knot. I don't do anything super complicated. These hooks are extremely sharp, so I would just caution you to be very careful when doing this. But they actually work really well. Cinch it down nicely. I'm not going to worry about trimming the line for the purposes of showing this method. And then hook it. I found usually about 1 inch to 1.5 inches above the top of above the eye is the best location. And that's it. This runs very straight, very true through the water.